Teofimo Lopez, man, one of the best fighters in the world when he's on. We've seen it, right? He fought Lomachenko. He had Lomachenko downloading data for 7 rounds. Was able to pull the victory out. Really skyrocketed him, onto the scene. He was put on pound for pound list, top 5 fighter in the world. He claimed to be undisputed, was not, however, ununified. People were saying he's athletic, he has power, he has speed, he has charisma, he's slick, he could do everything in the ring. And then we go ahead and we see him against George Kambosos, a fight that had ups and downs just to get him in the ring. We finally get him on Thanksgiving weekend, and he disappointed. He had this terrible fight plan where just to come out and knock Kambosos out, got knocked down, had a tough fight and lost, a clear loss to me. They said there was health issues. He had air in his lungs or outside his lungs. I'm sorry. He could have died. And then he comes back, moves up in weight, which he said he should have did before, made a mistake, and had some up and down performances. Pedro Campa wasn't the most, he got the job done, showed his slickness, but we wasn't sure exactly, what kind of measure that was. Fight Sandor Martin on short notice. Let me tell you, Sandor Martin Sandor Martin, one of the better fighters at 140 that doesn't get enough credit. Gave Mikey Garcia L, clearly beat him. And we saw in this fight, he knocks Lopez down. It should have been another knockdown called. Close fight. I had Teofimo winning by, I think, 1 point, but that knockdown counted. Could have changed the way that fight is scored. Then fights Josh Taylor and just amazes everybody. He was the underdog, slight underdog. However, boxing opinion was that Josh Taylor was going to beat him up, embarrass him, and he embarrasses Josh Taylor. Got Josh Taylor's doing what Teo was saying. It's time for me to move up. Teofimo Lopez, number 1, number 2 at 140. Listen, him and David Haney, top of the weight class. They're the 2 kings of the hill. Would love to see them fight. We're getting Jamaine Ortiz. Jamaine Ortiz fought Lomachenko, gave him a close competitive fight. I did have Lomachenko winning it, doing what De La Hoya just did, minus the knockdown. But edging it out, pushing, giving a late push. Jamaine Ortiz is a good fighter. He's been fighting at 135. Been waiting for him to make his 140 debut, and he has it in tough. They fought as amateurs in the National Golden Gloves, I believe, when they were like 15 years old. Teofimo won. I think it's going to be a good fight. I have Teofimo winning, but as I mentioned before, up and down performances. You just never know what you're getting with Teo. So if we get the Teo we know, I expect him to win. Maybe by stoppage. I wouldn't put my money down on that. Teofimo money line is a new thing we're saying around in the community I'm in. But I think Jamaine Ortiz, solid fight, solid fighter. This is a solid fight. And Thursday night, man, let's go.
Sweet. Josh, your thoughts on that one?
Alex really hit all the high points there. I think it's a good matchup. I think that conventional wisdom odds are going to be on the Lopez side. I'm hoping Jamaine Ortiz puts up a very solid fight. Thus far, when we've seen him, he has rise to the occasion to the degree that, he coming into the Lomachenko fight, I don't think many gave him much of a chance, but he has shown that when he's on his game, he can be tough in there. And I think that Lopez has what it takes to pull off the victory here. I'm thinking on the decision end, but certainly I hope that Ortiz brings out that real challenge. And I will say that both of them look in impeccable shape thus far from what I've seen from the training footage.